transitioning to live.
Going live.
Doing it live.
Doing it live.
Cool.
And I'm eating a sandwich.
Live.
Alright. Hello, and welcome back to Tears of Kairos. We are going to get things started as quickly as possible. I am Neysa Cosplay. I am the DMs for this game. Tonight, don't you dare. Tonight we have Ninja Spence playing Zhonya, one of our magic users. We have Jed at the table here as well, who is playing Arten, our Leonin biter. We have Miro over there playing Fil'verl, our Sorlock. And back again,
Finally.
back, is Nate, our missing lizard folk hovering head barbarian. If y'all would, as quickly as you can.
Hold up. Last time on Tears of Kairos.
We did a shopping episode. We got new threads.
We got new clothes. We went shopping. Got a hair did, a nails done. I got my nails done. Y'all ain't get y'all's nails done. And we got some nice Gucci and Chanel, or at least
Avernus and Lich.
Sorry, Avernus and Lich.
Glacier's Secret.
Got some Glacier's Secret. Got some good bags and stuff. I got my new armor, and then we started walking down the road. And we said, we could probably go ahead and finish out this whole thing and figure out what's going on with these here statues. And so what had happened was we decided to go down to the drunkard statue, and we're looking around and find out it's another clue. And then one clue led to another clue, and another clue led to a third clue, and it led to a fourth clue. It turns out this whole thing was just national treasure all over again. Alright? Which just goes clue. And finally, we had gotten all the dang clues and found out it led us to a crown. And I was like, well, shit, at least I got a cool crown out of it. We went ahead and put it in my boo's hair and everything. And then we got back to the house. And then at the house, this old dude shows up at a real nice car. He must have been on that Pimp Ride show. But anyway, real nice car. And he was like, no, that's my crown, bitch. And I'm like, look here, motherfucker. You can't just be rolling up and say, take my crown. And he's like, no, I will give you the crown. And then
that's not old bitch. That's Elminster.
He's like, look, you give it a crown, and I'll give you the rock that y'all been looking for this whole time. I'm like, well, hell, that's what I wanted in the first place. So we made the swap. We got the rock, and it turns out old dude is super strong wizard guy whom I'm supposed to know about, but Arten definitely doesn't know about. And so we got the rock, and he's like, I like doing it this way anyway, so we don't have to fight people, we don't have to kill everybody all the time. And then Kai said he'd send us to the next spot. So that's where we at.
I vomited star stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that happened too.
He got a new.
I got a new patron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still not sure about that. Tal'gor has had a super long nap.
You were in kind of a hibernation mode, yeah.
You molted. Kai ain't letting us back in that house after that.
Okay, so yeah. So we're going to because we have a slightly limited timeline tonight. We are going to kind of make things happen pretty quickly, and that way also hopefully my voice will last. So the next morning, you all get woken up by Marianne knocking on your doors to make sure you're all up and moving. You can get all your stuff packed up, and if I do recall, Kai exchanged some of your coin for Exandrian coin.
Correct.
Okay. So
Yes.
once everybody's all packed up and ready to go, Kai in his Cornelius disguise hails up a carriage for the group of us and takes y'all across Waterdeep back over toward the y'all remember the Blackstaff Tower area?
Everybody's working for the weekend.
All of that jazz. All the Chippendales jokes.
Yeah, it's the area with the black staff, which is definitely
Hold on. Every
a
Thursday,
euphemism.
every Thursdays is just the bare necessities
For the bare necessities.
Or also known as Tailspin Night.
Wow. It's essentially over in that area. There's some churches and some temples and whatnot. The carriage pulls up outside of a rather small. It almost seems like a mountain cottage that got transplanted into Waterdeep. Gets out, knocks on the door, and the door is opened by a... She almost seems too tall for the house. She's at least head and shoulders taller than all y'all, even Tal'gor. And she's wearing just a white shirt, black pants, has her black hair kind of pulled up into a tight braid at the back of her head, and she's got light blue tattoos on her really pale skin. But she obviously knows Kai, lets y'all into the house, and she gets introduced as Aaliyah, and says that she has old connections. Y'all okay over there?
He stole my pencil. I was acting upset.
So she has old connections to Exandria, and Kai had said that he would negotiate whatever fees or whatnot. So she leads y'all kind of into like a secluded back workshop. It almost feels like you go into a basement area. And there is a very obvious magic circle on the floor.
You're going to declare, DM, we have Grog with us this time.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I figured y'all weren't leaving him behind to become the Button Lord of Waterdeep.
I'm glad Grog is still with the living.
Look, he could easily become the Button Lord of the South Ward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no button safe in all of Waterdeep. He's just running around.
If he survives all of the adventures to come, he's probably returning to Waterdeep to reclaim his button crown.
That sounds adorable.
You gotta build him a Scrooge McDuck vault.
I just want him to have a large trench coat made out of nothing but buttons. Just a little bit of thread that holds all the buttons together. And as he runs down the hallway, it's just...
Button mail, pretty much, for the road.
Button mail. Can that be an armor? Can I have button mail? I want button mail.
You gotta use... It's gonna be split mail for the most part, because it's gonna be buttons, and then there's gonna be a couple zippers, because he's gonna find them.
I like that. I like that a lot. Just, we're like, he has a big mail and he just unzips all the zippers, like, ugh.
In any case, so Aaliyah gives y'all kind of the rundown of keep your arms and legs inside the magic circle at all times. Make sure you're touching one of your party members, be it hand, foot, or otherwise. Even if the little guy wants to ride on top of one of the big guys, that's fine. Just make sure that you're all at least in some form of physical contact while you plane shift.
So we will conga line through the planes.
And Kai, as Aaliyah goes to grab her spell book to get this started, he says, "I wish you all the best of luck. Again, when you get to Xhorhas, if you encounter anyone named Kurloth, they'll probably be willing and able to help you. Beyond that, I don't really know who else might still be around. One other thing," and he's going to hand y'all over just a little note. He says, when you accomplish whatever you're doing in Exandria and you're ready to move on again, my recommendation is that you seek out the Tenithra siblings in a demi-plane called Velbrook. You'd have your best chance of finding them if you went to Bysaeus Till in Exandria.
Bysaeus Hill.
Till.
We're going to a Fey bank, y'all. They deal in favors. They don't charge good interest.
Okay, so
charge their own interest.
With that, the best of luck to you all, and I'll let Aaliyah take it from here. And Kai leaves the building. Aaliyah comes back with her spell book, and her hand's already like starting to glow. She says, "Are you all ready?"
Yes.
Oh, are we gonna do the conga line? Or are we just gonna all hold hands?
We can just do that. The elbow linking thing, just as if from like Wizard of Oz.
I'm gonna wrap my tail around everybody.
Oh, you shed and grow bigger, didn't you?
Do we walk? We're walking through a thing.
Nope. You just need to not get lost when everything starts spinning.
Yep. Let's big group hug. Big group hug. Get in here.
Gonna put right on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Hold on tight, buddy. And we got our arms to the elbows. Everyone with tails are holding on to each other's tails. There are 3 tails?
Yes.
There's 3 tails, and so we're just like.
We've
you remember
together.
the braided snake in the Never-Ending Story, like that. Yeah, we're gonna do that kind of thing with it. It's just like woven tails all the way around the whole thing. We are together as a group of family thing.
The only thing is Tal'gor's tail is so much thicker than all y'all's. It's more like ivy running around an oak trunk.
Yeah, it
There ain't
is.
nothing wrong with that.
It is.
So,
as he shrugs.
as the magic circle starts to glow underneath your group, Aaliyah says, "You're going to wind up in a lady's house. Her name is Zaya, and you'll definitely want to be respectful. Okay? She could kill you all with a blink if she wanted."
So like, just
So
the
if
usual.
we fight Zaya, shoot her in the eyes. Can't blink if you don't got eyes. Just
Right.
saying.
Phil, with his new slightly goth look, just
Blink, blink.
Stop trying to kill everybody with your eyes.
I can't do that.
Get.
Alright, so the magic circle starts to glow very, very brightly. Aaliyah kind of disappears from in front of you as the glow starts to encompass the entire room. And you do feel everything around you start to kind of spin. It goes slowly and then it speeds up until you almost feel like the very breath is being drawn out of your lungs by the centrifugal force. It takes what feels like a good solid half a minute before everything starts to slow back down and you all find your feet on cold stone in a dimly lit, dark wood paneled room. There is a small desk with like a glass panel in front of it. Think like the real world example would be like an X-ray tech like console. And behind it, standing behind the glass and kind of looking at y'all from behind dark goggles, is a dark-skinned, pale-haired, obviously drow type of individual. This individual pushes some buttons and comes around the glass, puts the goggles up on her head and says, "Alright, so Aaliyah said that you all were just passing through, right?"
Yes, ma'am,
Yes.
we are.
Yes, we are.
Good.
Indeed.
Where you heading to then?
Pull out my compass real quick.
I believe Kai mentioned we should seek an audience with a queen.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work for you unless we know some names and where you're from.
Oh, Fil'verl Ettin, astral elf from her general displeasure travel company. Also, from what was it? God, no, this is me blank. This is
We
you
are
at
the
blanking.
ambassadors of Z'rell.
That.
We are basically ambassadors that I am
That.
Zhonya.
I forgot Z'rell's name.
I am Zhonya Embersong.
Don't know Nosrael. Sounds made up to me.
Oh,
The fuck is that?
it's our official document saying we're ambassadors. You can take it for verification.
Sends over a mage hand that pulls it out of your hand, takes it over to her, holds it for her to kind of read through it. Remind your DM where y'all got this documentation.
Remind Arten as well.
I thought that we were given this by the Dragon Lady. She gave us something that would say we were ambassadors.
Wasn't
That's
that for Strixhaven though?
Yeah, so that was for Strixhaven.
I thought it was for everything.
But we had just kept up
All right.
with the ambassador thing.
I thought that this was like the legal documentation for everything.
It's not like a as much as I love this, is it like
I
a
thought we were
psychic
giving
paper?
I thought
This
we were
is
giving-
like you're giving over like the registration that's like 2 years old, but it's the only one left in your car after you clean it out.
Pretty much.
This is also Hewitt the player thinking that we had basically a carte blanche ambassador bullshit.
All right, it's okay. We'll get it figured out.
It's been good, y'all. I got a new character. He's not going to have a patron.
So she's kind of reading over, and she is like, you can see her like staring line by line, like she is not just skimming, she is reading this thing straight. So if y'all would like, y'all can make perception checks while she's going over this very, very carefully.
Oh, I'm on par for tonight, everybody.
If I roll that and I add it to this.
Zorina had got a. She had got a 17. Zhonya had got a good old. That's a 9.
I got a 17 as well.
Okay.
11.
And
A one.
Tal'gor? Brain cell already? Okay.
Already.
Alright then.
Was that
Brain
here?
cell.
So that we can actually have the... I'm not going to click watch the stream, but I can see it from here.
Okay. Alright. So yeah, Nate, you've got the brain cell. Would you like to spend it now or hold on to it?
I'm just gonna hold on to it.
Alright, and I didn't clarify. Y'all can have your inspiration for the night.
Yeah.
My apologies for being a forgetful DM. But okay, so
You're also sick, so.
I'm not that sick, okay? Like don't be telling
Yeah, I know what
stories
you mean,
about me
but
on
good
the
for the
internet.
weather.
But yeah, so the 17s, the room itself is rather sparse. There appears to be only one door, and she's kind of positioned between the circle where y'all are and the door. You can't tell if you're underground or above ground. The air does feel a little bit chill, like maybe either it's wintry outside or you might actually be underground. It feels about 60 degrees or so in here. You had said you pulled out the compass, and it is pointing steadily in a direction that, once y'all were on the surface, would be northwest of where you currently are.
Do I know that where I am?
No, but like for meta sake,
Northwest.
it's pointing but it is very steadily holding a direction. It is not simply spinning, it is locked on.
Because before they started talking about meeting the queen, I was just going to be like, that way. But that's why I pulled out the compass, and they chimed in with more intelligent things to say. And so I was like...
Okay. But yeah, so like you know that it's working, so you can check it again later, and once you're surface level, wherever you could actually gauge direction, it would be pointing northwest of your current location.
Cool.
So as she gets down toward the bottom of the document, she kind of lets the mage hand kind of take it back over toward you, and she says, "Right, that looks like it was made for a university elsewhere."
Correct. A different plane that we had to go through as well. That was Strixhaven. The credentials still apply. It was specifically made for Strixhaven itself, though.
And your purpose here, then?
Collecting a artifact of most importance to save a reality from being destroyed by a fire god.
Our purpose remains the same for each plane we go to. We have one particular item we must pick up, and then we are on our way.
That is true. Very true.
We also seem to have a habit of stimulating the economy wherever we go.
Right. Sure. Alright. Look.
We got deep pockets, bitch. Let me spend some money.
Alright. Here's what I can do for you. You seem rather capable individuals, and I don't fancy starting my day off with a bit of a brawl in my shop. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to some governmental officials that will make the final determination on where you go from here, alright? I'm just kind of the door guard. so to speak.
That's understandable.
Okay.
We didn't bring our passports. They're going to think we came here illegally.
It'll be fine.
Basically.
What are we gonna do? Deport us?
To where?
Yeah.
Look, you're gonna be subject to magic to determine the truth of what you're saying, right? That's just a given.
That's fair.
Especially since the only documentation you've got is not for this purpose. So, we'll make the truth of it, and hopefully this will be the last you see of me for a while. So, you're going to follow me, you're not going to try anything, and we'll go from there, alright? And she turns toward the door.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, we pick up my stuff, and head towards the door.
Yeah, just gonna walk
Come
respectfully.
along. Come along.
Grog is just
Just
sitting
start
there,
just
dead weight, arms and legs hanging down as you got him tucked up like a freaking bag of concrete.
It looks exactly like Master Blaster right now. We have a little bitty Grog sitting on top of the shoulders of a big armored man just walking around.
and then there is just basically a dash hound that's basically on Zonya's shoulder.
Who
Oh,
run Butter Town? Master Blaster.
Alright, so she doesn't even really turn around to make sure y'all are following. She goes through the door and down a bit of a twisty-turny hallway. There's not really any other side doors off of it. And she does lead y'all out into a more of a grand entrance chamber type of space. There's a lot of people moving around in very fancy robes. There's lots of metalwork neck pieces and shoulder guards. Most of them appear to be carrying various scrolls and documentations and things like that. These appear to be bureaucrats for the most part. But all of them have a bit of... there's a feeling in this place, and from everyone that she leads you past, that is obviously arcane and magical. Each one of these people is very likely a spellcaster. She walks y'all down the main hall and turns into another side corridor, and eventually stops outside of an arch-type doorway that kind of shimmers rather than having an actual door in it. Beyond the shimmer, you can see a kind of a long conference table. There's piles of books and scrolls, and standing behind the table and kind of peering over what looks to be like a molded map on the actual surface of the table is another drow wearing a very ornate mantelpiece over their chest and upper arms. And she kind of knocks on the frame of the arch. This individual looks up and motions her through. She says, "Wait right here." And she goes through and speaks to this other drow. Do any of y'all speak Undercommon?
Checks,
Nope.
even though I know the
Nope.
answer's no and no.
Okay. Alright, Tal'gor?
I do not.
Alright.
Does Grog?
I do not believe I have it
Look
on...
like a Grog sheet. Let's look at the Grog sheet. Thieves can't.
They can't everything.
Common. Goblin. We all know those are safe bets because he's a rogue.
Yeah.
Yet he no.
Well,
Alright.
He speaks barely common.
Alright, so none of y'all know exactly what is being said.
Cool.
But she eventually comes back to the door, comes back through the archway and says, obviously, once you cross the archway, you're going to be subject to essentially a zone of truth type of spell. Don't try anything, or you'll be considered enemies of the state. And go have a good time trying to explain all that, and I'll wait for you here.
alright.
Okay.
Right.
Out of character. Pleasant place. Pleasant place.
I like it. It reminds me of my hometown.
Okay, so anything before y'all go through the archway?
Nope.
No.
No.
Go
Okay.
to the archway.
We'll freely
do
choose. We'll freely choose to fail the save
Okay.
passing through.
Yes.
Alright. So, let me go get the actual text just so we're all being
Thought she was about
fair.
to say, let me go
The
roll
second
some
you
damage.
walk through, you expose one deep truth about yourself.
No.
I never graduated high school.
Okay.
Need to go check on something. I'll be back 2 seconds.
Alrighty. Okie dokie. So deliberately choosing to fail the save. You cannot speak a deliberate lie while within this zone. And yeah, as long you could twist truth as long as you don't tell a deliberate untruth. So if you want to.
Time to be a fae, y'all. Time to be a fae.
You can bend, you cannot break. That is.
Can I omit?
You can. You can refuse to speak. Okay. You just cannot tell a deliberate
Grog,
untruth.
I'm gonna need you to refuse to speak.
Alright.
Okay.
So, as y'all come into the room, you can feel the kind of... It almost feels like it
Can we
stays
feel it?
on your
Can we
skin.
feel it coming in the air tonight?
Yes. You
Gross.
can feel the magic kind of coating itself over your skin and over your clothes as you
Not
walk
healthy.
through the archway.
Magic ski.
It's not helping
Are y'all
at all.
having a good time over there? Okay, so
Somebody's having a good time.
There's one mage.
Just one mage.
Expelliarmus!
Having the best time.
woof. Okay, so y'all come into the room. The drow closes a couple of books and kind of watches until y'all come to a standstill on the other side of the table. Says, "My name's Essek, and you're going to tell me exactly what it is you're doing here, where you're trying to get to, what you're looking for."
Okay, so what was the first question again, DM?
What you're doing here, where you're trying to get to, what you're looking for.
We are here because the lady told us to go through the archway. That's why we're here.
We're here to find a shard of the heart of a god.
Yeah,
Which answers the third question as well.
yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Yes.
Shard of a heart of a god.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be a black rock.
Shard, about in dimension, rough cut.
There's a lot of black rock here.
That this
It's
is
okay.
a very different one.
It's okay. I'll be able to find it.
In what manner?
I got this compass. It points the direction. Right now it's going that way.
That way.
Show him.
Look, I can spin it in any direction. It's gonna keep pointing that way.
This drow points on the map and says, "You're here," and he's pointing to a rather large city, kind of nestled up against a kind of the fork of a mountain range. He says, "Where your compass is pointing is here," and he points to. There's a very narrow pass to the northwest of this large city. That on the other side of this very narrow pass. It is what looks like a forest.
Okay.
He says, "That's Savalia wood, and there's nothing there but death and decay."
And this rock. The rock that we need. The heart of the god.
Probably because of this rock.
And that's why
That
we're going.
is
We're going to get
Probably true.
we're going to get that rock.
Well, hold on, we can't lie. So that is definitely true.
The thing is, this compass always points to that rock. Every shard of that rock, this compass points to. It's never lied once, but when the rock was being held by someone and moving from place to place, it would waver. It would move a little bit. The arrow would tilt. Has not tilted. Still that direction. And so it's going to be there. If that's what you're saying is if you're saying that's northwest and that's what's northwest, then that's where we're going and that's what we're getting.
We have wrong voice, that we have already been through. We have already been through Strixhaven, collected it. Ixalan collected it, and then that we had just got done leaving Waterdeep, and then that we had basically
Collected
it.
What god?
Kairos.
That one.
No, not me.
No, that's
Okay,
the one he
okay,
said.
making sure you pointed.
A Zrelin guard. It is from a land that we are hailing from as just ambassadors to basically collect these pieces of just this shard.
I will be very frank with you. You'll die if you go to that place.
Okay.
Not the first time we've been told that with what... We've literally shot something that was called the Demon God in the face, and it didn't get back up.
I will be very frank with you, as I cannot tell you a lie in any form. We're still going. If we die, we died. But we're not gonna not try, because if we don't go and collect all the shards, then the entire plane that we are hailing from will die. And so, we have to try. If I didn't want to die, I could have stayed in Waterdeep. I could have stayed at home. Didn't have to come. But I need to try to save these people.
Out of character question, DM. That would Zhonya know that if that Exandria was like the birthplace of chronology?
Roll history.
Okay, that's a 27.
Yes, most of the textbooks that Strixhaven had that you learned from in Quandrix that dealt with chronology and graviturgy, specifically all of the footnotes, all of the references, always referred back to the nation of one of the continents of Exandria known as Wildmount, specifically the studies of the mages of the Kryn dynasty.
Okay. Zhonya is going to kind of like straighten up, and then she's going to just say that I just rather was an esteemed professor at Strixhaven named Zhonya Embersong, and I have basically been studying chronologists all of my life, and in that I basically had done from our textbooks and stuff, had basically read over it, and in that the area known as Wildmount was basically the birth of chronology, and in that I also needed to also visit to try to learn a little bit more if I can.
She's good too. She saved his life. Saved my life. She saved all of our lives at least once. But definitely his life.
What are you willing to do to make this happen?
What?
He's implying that he will be in the way unless we give a reason that benefits them to allow us to go do this.
Oh, okay.
Do you have an errand you need us to do?
There are items in the center of Savalia Wood that have been abandoned. I would see them restored.
Oh.
Okay.
If you just want us to run an errand for you, sure. Is it more than an errand?
Well, your lives are already forfeit, so...
What's the harm in forfeiting it again, I guess?
Alright.
Precisely.
Sure.
So what are the items?
So we're going to need some good descriptions of what and how and when and where.
There are boxes, chests, that have a number of gears and components that were in the capital city that was abandoned in the center of the wood.
Mm.
There are books. Essentially, if you are confident that you can retrieve what you seek, then you could also retrieve these items for my queen.
Okay.
That seems like a fair deal. And if we don't succeed at retrieving our items, then we're dead, and you don't have anything to worry about.
Precisely. However, in order to ensure that you do not simply take what you seek and leave us hanging, I would send you with a bit of a watch piece.
Like a person or a thing?
A hall monitor, if you would. Just somebody to watch over
Like a
us.
person or a thing?
Both, if you're going to be technical.
A robot?
No. Foul contraptions. Not nearly as good as someone with a heart to lose.
So, how was a person... I'm confused. Do you deal in slavery here?
No. Far from it.
Then how was a person a thing?
A thing, and pulls seemingly out of thin air, a small pocket watch.
Agreed.
This, and, as a double redundancy, someone to assist and to watch over you.
Ah, a person with a thing. Got it.
Yes.
This seems like extortion.
Question. What if the person with the thing dies in the perilous woods that we are in?
That's
But
why
we
it's a double
don't.
redundancy. They function independently of one another.
Okay. So, person is not holding the thing, we're holding the thing.
Correct.
What if the person dies and the thing is lost or stolen?
It won't be able to be stolen from you.
Good to know. Making sure.
Essentially, this tied to you lot, and the person as an assistant and reporter.
So that they are going to be basically scribing down everything we will be doing and reporting to y'all. Correct?
Yes.
Oh, God, everybody.
I mean, that's just like practical, like itineraries. Whenever during I was at Strixhaven, we would have basically proctors basically judging our performances and such.
Yes. A proctor.
Agreed. Agreed upon in every form. Send the person and the thing with us to the perilous woods. We will get the stone, we will get the boxes of the things, and items and books, and I repeat back the things that he said. And then we turn them to you,
Yes.
and then be on our way.
Yes. Do you know where you are needing to go after?
Was it the Feywild? Or was there another one?
It was basically that we were supposed to, I have it written down, that we were supposed to go to visit Till after that we had got done. Briseis Till, yes, that is it.
Yes.
It's a city across the mountains, mostly elven. They're a bit transplanted and out of place in amongst the human Dwendalian Empire. Not exactly the safest exit point for you, but if that's where you need to go, then we could
Would
ensure
say that
you
our
made it
entry
safe.
point wasn't safe either, apparently.
I feel like safety is a good concern here. It is safe for us, so long as we're not the troublemakers.
That is correct.
And therefore completely safe, because we are not. Concerning, yes, because we were immediately, not accused, but suspected of...
We have much to be suspicious of lately. Here. There are many who would seek to undermine and infiltrate our borders. But if you are able to retrieve these items successfully, along with your own, as a show of gratitude, we could escort you properly to the Till for you to head to wherever you're going next. That way
Deal.
the vulgar humans across the way don't just kill you on sight.
They are vulgar, aren't they? This is the deal. I agree.
Good.
I agree as well.
We have no choice.
You
He
can always
agrees.
run for it.
Nope, he agrees.
No, I do not agree, but I am outvoted, and we have no choice. Therefore, there's no point to saying we agree or disagree. We're going to do it, or else they're going to imprison us or kill us for being teleported here by someone else. So, since we have no choice, let's just go ahead and do it for them. However, it is noted my objection.
Fingers, please. Holding out the pocket watch.
Finger.
As you each touch the pocket watch, you feel kind of almost like a thread wrapping around your fingertip. You don't see anything, nothing becomes visible, but you feel a little thread that ties you to the watch temporarily, momentarily. And then this drow disappears the watch again and starts pulling out a few papers and documents. This is a map. This is a few notes on individuals you might encounter going through the pass. There's a town there, Shady Creek Run. It's not exactly the most hospitable of environs, but there are a few people you should watch out for, a few people you should avoid, and if you run into a few people, you might just die before you even make it into the woods. So then, this is a map of what the wood used to be. Just kind of giving you all some information to get you on your way.
Knowledge dump.
Knowledge dump. And once you've got all that, kind of comes around the table, and you can see that Essek is not actually walking. He's floating a clear 1.5 feet above the floor, and goes over toward the archway, draws a finger over the stone, and the shimmer fades from the doorway itself. Speaks in Undercommon to the woman that escorted you here. She goes off down the hall. Were you going to say something?
No, just I'm holding back constant jokes and dad jokes and stuff because most of them are, although in character, would also be because they're jokes, not me speaking the whole truth. And so I'm over here like, ha ha.
Essek goes back to the table and says, your guide, for lack of a better term, your proctor, if you will be along shortly. You're free to wait in the hall. And goes back to examining various documents and stuff on the table.
Thank you.
I leave the room.
Thank you, Master Essek.
Does the misty stuff?
Oh, it's gone. The misty stuff is gone.
Cool. Good. Well, that was unnerving. Did you see he could fly without having to eat a pepper or shit fire?
It's obviously a magic item that he got for being a middle manager.
Yeah, get that damn magic item. I don't want to ever do that again.
I have other ways to allow you to fly that you'll have control over.
Now I just don't believe you.
I won't do it here because I got a feeling he's going to have someone watching us that will not take kindly.
That's the
I
proctor.
think we're mimicking him.
Where's the proctor?
I mean that, that my memory is always fuzzy as usual because that I just only remember it was just seek bright queen audience. That's all what I can remember. Really, that's what I only wrote down in my notes because I'm like,
I swear that's what Kai told us to do. I don't think that's happening now because we're on an errand. I got a feeling he was told to do this, and we just happened to show up, and he used a position of power to make us go do his chore like an older brother.
I kind of get that feeling too. Like he lost those things specifically and has been put in this lower level management position than what he thinks he should deserve. And if he gets those things, he'll be promoted back again. Something of that nature.
So basically, that you are just saying that he had got demoted to guidance counselor instead of assistant principal.
I don't think he's even a guidance counselor. I saw him looking over there. That's a geography teacher.
Geography.
I bet he coaches on the side.
He can't even read a map. It's just...
Sorry, what was that, Nate?
No.
What was that, Nate?
I went, ugh.
Alright, so, y'all are waiting in the hall for a few minutes before the lady, the gatekeeper, Zaya, comes back. She's leading yet another drow. This one is familiar. A little bit older than the version of him you met in Strixhaven, but you recognize this individual as Watcher. Like, the facial features are unmistakable.
Watcher, you sly motherfucker. What are you doing here?
Excuse me?
Multiverse traveling, we met another you.
There's only one of me.
What's your name?
I'm Kjolov.
Oh. Hold on.
I feel like I'm coming in on the tail end of a joke.
Yes.
Not a joke. We have traveled together for the better part of, 2 years?
Something
like that.
Yes.
So, we've hopped through the multiverse, and we have seen some wild and weird shit.
Could have swore you were someone we met a few months ago. You're not. Very close, similar. Now that I see you in the correct light, your nose is a little bit straighter than his. It's better.
Do you do cool things with your swords, like make them erupt into flames?
No.
Not him.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
Apologies.
You know what? I apologize for my Leonin friend. I should have known better because I am also purple.
She is just sitting up, just smiling, just like. Not that she is trying, that you know that she is just trying to be a better person, but she wants to message you so bad.
I'm just saying.
She wants to message so bad, but she's just like that. The parent that's like.
All right. I was told that we were going through Shady Creek Run.
Yes.
You're the proctor.
Yes. I guess.
He is the watcher. He'll be watching us.
Yes.
Yes.
This is really odd.
I do apologize.
We were told you were going to be assigned to us as someone to make sure that we didn't stray from the path that he had.
Because the string.
The feeling has faded.
Okay, I was imagining we're just all sitting there with the feeling of we just ran our hands
just
to a
doing this the whole time. Like,
no,
fuck is this on my finger?
It's faded. Like it faded as you pull as the pocket watch was pulled away. But
I was thinking this is going to be uncomfortable the entire time. It's
Well, then I do think that some introductions are just in order. Zhonya and
Arten.
Fil'verl.
The Boosie.
Tal'gor.
At this point, Zaya says, just make sure she kind of puts her hand on Kjorlov's shoulder and says, just make sure you drop by the armory before you head out. Yeah, pick up a couple of masks. And however, 6 of y'all just try not to get dead, yeah?
Masks.
We're pretty good at that, Don.
Yeah.
A mask of disguise.
No, to help you hopefully not die in the woods.
Why do we need
poison?
Yeah, among other things. Look, they'll clue you in at the armory. You could also ask around Shady Creek Run. I mean, they live on the fucking verge of the place. Just try not to get dead. And she heads back off.
Lovely person, that. Just
we have met nothing but great people here.
Beautiful personality. Can't live without that.
Seems like such a fair system here.
Such a peach, salt of the earth.
I feel like we're going to get along great. So, follow me. And Kjorlov leads y'all off down more halls, and eventually you end up in a very very obviously like an armory, like an equipment storage space. He speaks to another drow and undercommon, and they start gathering stuff off the shelves. And each of you are given it's just a little, just covers your mouth, mask, has no straps or anything.
We're gonna get so many suction blisters from this thing.
It's not gonna work. I got too much fur. It's not gonna seal.
Anybody that has a beard and had when we were wearing masks for the last couple years will know exactly.
Yes, that's just creases all up in the whole circle of a crease all up in my beard. I was wearing whole sleeves.
But you're basically told through Curloth, for translation purposes, that the masks will filter a certain portion of the toxic nature of the Chevalier wood. They will not protect you from the other creatures and other types of magic that permeate the wood, but the masks will at least hopefully keep you from becoming poisoned. Just from breathing the air.
How do you spell that? Savalian?
Chevalier wood is SAVALIR wood.
Okay.
Also pronounced Saddleier.
Okay. Got it.
Saddler.
The savvy wood.
That there's Sadley wood.
That you're going back into the wrong character there. I done lived in the Sattler woods.
That character would have died the moment we got here. she said something about being respectful. Like, oh no, he would have died.
Yeah, Cyrex will not have survived.
He's not a.
Just hold on. Just getting stabbed repeatedly while doing this. Someone cast cure wounds.
All right. So the as you've all got your masks, Curloth, have to get my brain around. He actually uses his actual undercommon name here, not his human name. Curloth turns to each of you and kind of says, "Is there anything else that you need? I mean, you all seem pretty well kitted out, but is there something you need that we could help you with before we go? I mean, I'd rather you be fully kitted out and not like be a liability once we actually get out there."
Before we leave the city, I'd like to swing by apothecary and grab some healing potions. We've run low as of late.
We only have 196 Zorhas coin. That is what all that I had got converted.
Do you have anyone that's a broker or a lender?
I mean, I could take you. I could take you by a bank, but I'm saying, since you're on official dynasty business, as long as you're with me, I could hook you up here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Free.
That's what I was hoping for. They're the ones talking about spending money.
I mean,
So how much damage do you anticipate that you won't be able to counter?
Considering that he said we were going to die multiple times, the exact amount of damage that we
I'll get us some stuff.
400 hit points.
Curloth heads over to talk to the what do they call them in the military? Supplies officer?
That's the supply officer.
Yeah.
Quartermaster.
The second he walks up to that, going to lean over. Is his name the one we're not really supposed to say?
No.
Okay, it's close. I'm concerned that, like, mispronunciation. I also, Hewitt knows the name. Phil didn't look in the book.
Right. I feel like we should catch Nate up. They were given access to a book that has all of the known Kai variants. In Kai's house, he had a book, like an album, like a journal that had portraits and descriptions and all of that.
Difference on the TV.
There is one really bad Kai variant whose name functions like the taboo in the Harry Potter 7 movies. When you say Voldemort, it summons the Death Eaters kind of thing.
Voldemort.
So there is one really bad guy.
Be careful or volleyball will show up.
And so that one's name is Carlo, so you don't say Carlo. And then this version of Watcher is Cure Loath. So
okay.
Not too far off. One mispronunciation and undercommon. Next thing you know, Cthulhu's showing up to everybody.
Cure Loath is over there negotiating with the quartermaster. You'll all get 4 of the greater category healing potions each. Those are the ones that do 4d4 plus 4.
Sweet.
GH potion.
Yeah.
Tom Ford.
Greater healings.
I already had that guy written down in the notes because I had technically one left. So back with the 5. Hey, yeah. Also, I'm the guy that runs through these things.
You're the one who has eaten the most damage out of all of us.
What can I say except
you have
you're
eaten the most damage. I don't know who is the
You're
highest,
welcome.
DPS out of us.
Damage per second.
I think that's you, Dad. That you won that. The damage.
I ping the shit out of things and can just burn through a ton of spell slots.
That you are the damage person.
So Cure Love comes back over. Anything else beyond that?
None. I am fine.
That's all I needed. Will we need money? Like, this realm's money on the road?
I mean, you might want some for if we gotta deal with any of the, look, Shady Creek Run is essentially nothing but gangsters and thugs.
So if we just showed any gold, holds up one of the Zraelin gold coins, if we just showed any gold coin.
We take gold as weight worth here if we need to, but like you might be able to, you might want some for like negotiation, but I really don't want to deal too much with the Shady Creek Run folks.
That's understandable.
Ale.
It's
gonna be a long walk.
Or how long of a travel are we actually looking at doing here?
We're about a day and a half solid walk from Shady Creek Run. To get to the center of Savalia Wood after that is gonna be a few days.
No,
I assume
out of character. Shit, we are close to the border.
I assume, although this is a government facility,
Right.
it would have better ale than Shady Creek Run would have.
I think they would have moonshine.
There's not really ale here. There's like
Whiskey, wine.
there's communal wine, but I don't think you want to stick around for a
No, I'm not here for religious services.
right.
Service of a religion, but not religious services.
Well, no, the question here is just so we know. Because we are dealing with one god that is a right shit.
Shit.
He is going to try to destroy the reality, so want to make sure what the religious setup here is, because we don't want to start talking bad about Fire, Boom, Boom Man, because we're not allowed to say his real name.
We can walk and talk.
Yeah,
Is there anything else?
Out of character, I figured this is what we were doing.
Okay.
No, we're good.
So,
We're
to kind of make things happen here, Kyorloth will agree to take y'all to like his favorite like dive bar.
Okay.
Yeah, just wanted a flagon of something or two.
Drinks before we head out, kind of thing.
I wanted a pouch of stuff for the road. Like it's, I imagine a few nights by a fire, just like sitting around, like fuck it.
And as walking and talking, he'll tell y'all about the Kryn dynasty itself is rather a religious monarchy, and the entity that the deity that they worship is something called the Luxon. It's the bright light of creation, and essentially most people in the Kryn dynasty who are worshippers of the Luxon seek what they call consecution, which is where they essentially get tied into the force of the Luxon for reincarnation purposes. He talks about the Umavi Leilas Kryn, the queen herself, has been consecuted and reborn like 8 times. And she has ruled without challenge for close to a millennia.
That's educational.
Most of
I wonder
the
how they figure out it's her again.
Oh, I did meet some humans one time. They rode on my parents' ship. They had a baby. The baby picked out an item that had been used by the previous leader, and they said that's obviously his reincarnation.
But what if the baby just liked that item?
I mean,
Don't yuck the religious yum.
I mean,
I'm not trying to yuck the yum. I'm just wondering how they figure it out.
If you've been consecuted previously and you're then reborn, eventually those memories start coming back to you. There's different ceremonies that people will undergo and be able to kind of access those memories, and that's when you kind of figure things out. It's kind of like a trip into memory lane.
Again, not trying to cast stones or nothing. Clip that shit.
I hope it's not shit.
Sorry.
Are you though?
Broke my character through, like, what the fuck is that?
Anyway, not trying to cast stones at your religion or your faith or anything. Just wondering if anyone had ever decided that the memories that they are remembering are not as good as they would want them to be, and just chose someone else's life.
I don't know, cause I'm only on my first life. Like I'm still waiting for that sort of thing. So like I don't know. Like I only got consecuted last year, so who knows? But
They're the church of later-day reincarnations.
Count it. Got it, man. That was good.
Well,
Nate's booing me.
well then, would you say that
I
they
need
are
that
more
shirt.
of
I
that
need
the
the Latter-day
light
Saint
or
symbol
more of
with
flame
like just
worship?
later-day reincarnations and just alter it a little bit.
Definitely light over flame.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, so
it's,
that we are basically good to diss the fire god from Zerel then.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, honestly, never even heard of this Zerel place. Don't know who the hell you're talking about. I'm just along to make sure that hopefully we all don't get dead, and hopefully we can get the stuff that Master Essex wanted us to get. So, you know, see what's up with
Agreed.
that.
Agreed.
So y'all can arrive at a little, basically a dive bar in the city. On the walk between the government facility where you were and through the city itself, there's kind of, it's not actually night, but there's enough cloud cover and like magical like dark barrier overhead that it feels like twilight the entire walk, even though you can see that there is a sun over that way. The dive bar itself, it's pretty much like any other little rickety shack tavern that you come across in any of the big cities. It's definitely not the awning portal type of level of goodness, but it's not decrepit either. It's just kind of one of these homely type of dive bars. They've got ale, they've got like tavern road food kind of stuff. So you know, you
Just wanted to get a couple flagons, a couple pouches.
yeah. You know, we'll just whatever y'all want to get.
Fill up
No,
the skins.
it's not more than 5 gold all around.
Just gonna fill up the skins. That's all we're
I'll
gonna
take
do.
it out of mine.
Alright.
And like I said, they will take foreign gold provided it's like actual gold, which they will like kind of bite it and make sure. Most of the folk that you're seeing as you're walking through the city in the dive bar and everywhere else, most of them are drow. It's about 75-80% drow. But there's also some tieflings and some goblinoids like bugbears. You even see a couple of gnolls walking around. There's some furbolg, and occasional humans. About the only thing you don't see are other variants of elves. It's pretty much drow is the only elvish heritage here.
So no one looks like you. Or do they all kind of look like you?
I was trying to imply that you acted like we looked the same.
No, I'm out of character. I'm actually asking.
Oh, out of character.
So,
Phil's
hair is different.
okay, so the thing is that
Like I know you're an astral elf,
because
and
astral
therefore
elves
drow.
can vary from a peachy pink, like not like children of thalidomide skin tone for a terrible image. Don't Google it, internet. It's terrible, and also 50s.
Ew.
But they can also range to a deeper purple similar to that of a drow skin tone. Phil is more on that kind of a lavender.
Yeah. Like that middle of the road lilac.
Yeah, he could pass if it wasn't for the fact that his hair is green.
Yeah.
With sporadic aurora borealis hitting it.
Yeah.
He could pass at a distance for drow.
So you a house drow?
Oh. I think he's a boat drow.
This is how we get banned.
I'm talking about drow.
Oh god. Anyway, so y'all got some road food and road drink stocked up.
We just take the whole bowl of bar nuts.
We're gonna need this. Queen's business. Queen's business.
Yeah, kill them.
Hold on, get those. Those are the spicy ones.
Kill
They're
those
red.
yo me nuts, man.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah, y'all can gather food, you weirdos, and head out of town.
That's damn Zhonya's
We picked up at least one day of rations based on bar nuts.
Just gonna be walking
Just bar nuts.
the whole trip. Just
Here's
walking.
the best part is every time you take a bite of bar nuts, you can roll a d20 and you can figure out if they were good berry level bar nuts.
No, none of these were good berry. This is a dive bar. If there was a good berry in there, it's because somebody left it on accident.
More likely that.
Just get a jar of pickled eggs and put them in the bag of holding as well.
It's more likely that 1 in 20 of these bar nuts is just an actual piece of rat poop that just petrified in there and we just lost.
All right. If
You're eating it by the handful
if
anyway.
y'all okay with it, we'll take our break now.
Okay.
And that way I can get my brain set for getting y'all out of town and into the wilderness.
Into the woods.
Yep. So let's do that.
All right, Nate. Well, I'm gonna pause it.
I'm gonna go take a quick break too. Grab some.